Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Forsaken Many 7218 and it says, "Am I the arsehole here for telling my dad his whole family is dead to me after what they did to my mum? Burner account because I'm paranoid. I, 22 female, have always been more attached to my mum, 45 female, and to my dad, 56 male. After my teenage years, me and my mum became best friends who tell each other everything. A bit more context. My mum is a stay-at-home mum and has no career because my dad forced her to leave uni when she got pregnant with me. So she fully depends on him and whatever little I give her off my own salary. No one in my dad's side liked my mum at first, and when she got pregnant with me, everyone in that damn family tried to convince my dad to leave her because she'd only bring trouble or whatever lame excuse they came up with. As you can guess, he didn't listen, and that's why we're here 22 years. To make a long story short, my mum tried to set a boundary after my uncle invited us to his kid's birthday party, but seated me, my mum and brother on a far table while the rest of the family got to sit at this large table. My mum just sent a message saying she deeply respected and loved them, but she couldn't ignore the blatant disrespect, and it became a big thing where my uncle and aunt from my dad's side insulted her, spun their own narrative to anyone who would listen, and ostracized her from their side. They said some vile things, like how my mum was dramatic and attention-seeking, and she was a gold digger since her mum is poor and is an immigrant. Really disgusting things. My dad has tried to keep the peace by forcing all of us to attend family lunches. I may be 22, but I will not let my mum go alone to these awful lunches, so therefore I'm forced to go too. After seeing my mum cry again for feeling guilty at causing so much trouble, I confronted my dad yesterday, and after he tried to defend his side of the family, I got all in his face and yelled that his whole side of the family is dead to me, and I never want to see their faces again. That he's an awful husband for not siding with his own freaking wife, and if he continues to force us to attend more family functions, I will go no contact with him. He hasn't spoken to me since, and my mum thinks I may have overreacted a bit, but I think it's very justified. I'm writing this while blocking and making sure none of his family members can contact me, and I'm starting to feel bad about yelling to my dad. So I need a fresh perspective on this, to be honest." Damn, and I always find stuff like this so incredibly sad because it just shows how normalized all this mistreatment has happened to your mum that she thinks you overreacted to what's been happening to her. You absolutely did not overreact, and good for you for saying what actually needed to be said. That husband keeps on wanting to keep the peace from that toxic family, and it's not keeping the peace, it's just enabling that abuse of her. And quite frankly, the silent treatment from your dad is predictable in this situation. Someone's called him out and he doesn't like it. It's that simple. Commenter says to OP, "Not the arsehole. I don't see why your mum has to go to this event. They openly don't like her. What's the point of keeping the peace? Is it peaceful if they're actively hostile to your mother? Sure, yelling at your father may not have helped much, but it's a reasonable reaction." Commenter says, "You didn't overreact. You finally reacted. If he won't defend the woman he made give up her life for him, someone had to. You just did the job he was too weak to do." Another commenter says, "So let's get this straight. Around 2002, when she was 22 or a little earlier, and a college student from abroad, a 33-year-old man impregnated her, forced her to leave her program, and surrounded her with a racist, abusing family for the next 2 decades. Your father is a creep. He targeted a young woman he could isolate, then made her life miserable as a fun project, and she's internalized the abuse, which is the saddest part. I hope you can get through to her someday, but the fact is you can't save someone who won't be saved." And a final commenter says, "Encourage your mum to return to school. Help her move forwards towards independence. Your father is not a good husband, and it seems like she's just stuck in a terrible situation. If she has to go to another family event, offer to drive her yourself and then take a detour and do something fun for the both of you. Make sure you turn your phones off because they will surely blow up." So it was about 3 weeks later after this that OP came in with their update and said, "Hi, I know it's been a few days since my first post. I've read through every comment and message I've gotten. Thank you for the supportive ones and the not so supportive ones, as they opened my eyes to a lot of things I had denied myself. I want to clarify a few things. We're originally from South America, but we didn't live there anymore. We moved here when I was 5. Most of my dad's family lives in this country, and that's a big part as to why we moved here as well. And the culture is that family is very, very much vital. We have big families, and of course, being ostracized brings a lot of questions, judgment, and a lot of loneliness. Now, I don't want to fuel more hate towards my dad, but to those saying he is a weirdo, you are in fact correct. My mum got pregnant with me at 23, when my dad was 34. Made her drop out of college, isolated her from her family, and didn't marry her until they had my brother. Yes, I do have a brother, 14 male. Sorry for not mentioning him, but I'm not on speaking terms with him since he fully supports my dad's actions, and has for some years now. Now for the update on how everything is going. My mom is finally considering divorce. I showed her the post and she was so relieved that the other people were on her side, though a bit mad at me for airing our business online. Lol. Someone mentioned alimony and it's opened our eyes, because of course she's entitled to it. She doesn't have a job, and we have a detailed timeline alongside witnesses that she was forced to drop out of uni and had job opportunities denied by my dad. We also have a strong case of past physical abuse. My dad kicked her while she was pregnant with me and almost caused a miscarriage, and cheating. We are moving quietly while my mum tries to get as much support and resources as we can, but we're on a good path. She plans that in a few months she'll move in with me after serving my dad divorce papers. That way he can't do anything, but we're still consulting with a lawyer. To the people concerned about my finances, I do have a nice job. I hit the jackpot with my current boss, and my mum's side of the family, the siblings she has left, are so supportive of her that they are aiding her financially and have offered to cover legal fees. I don't want to divulge more information, and I probably won't update for a while, but I just want to thank every single one of you for helping me not feel so crazy and alone. I cannot promise you all that my mum will go no contact with my dad since they do have my brother left, but I'm hoping everything goes according to plan. Once again, thank you so much and wish us luck." And the top commenters on that update said, "Girl, I felt every word of this. You're doing the absolute right thing, protecting your mum and standing your ground. Wishing you both strength and peace. You are not crazy. You're just finally free." Commenter 2 says, "For safety's sake, it would be better if your mum paid a process server to deliver the divorce papers. I've read that a woman is most in danger from her husband as she is trying to leave him, and any discussions go through her attorney instead of face to face. He has abused her in the past, and this could be the event that breaks his mind, turning him violent enough to fatally hurt her." And the final commenter says, "Good on you for protecting and standing up for your mum. Your dad is a certified piece of shit, along with the rest of his family." And I'm so glad things are moving in the right direction for them both and getting out of there as soon as possible. When they were talking about the age gap and the isolation and all that kind of stuff, it's absolutely terrifying, isn't it? But there's a part of me through this as well that just felt so bad for OP, 22, having to deal with this kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm incredibly glad they are dealing with it in the way that they are. It's so mature and absolutely amazing to be protecting their mum in this way, but OP has been carrying this heavy burden for years, protecting her mum, watching her mum cry after family lunches, feeling responsible for protecting her, dealing with all this in your head while, trying to live your life at the same time. 22, you're just getting started, right? OP does sound like a pretty amazing person. I really do wish the best for him and look out for an update when that divorce finally goes through. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Snowboarding Rules, who says, "Am I the arsehole for not wanting to be disinvited from a trip I planned? I, 27 female, planned a ski trip with my boyfriend, 29 male, and some of our friends, mostly his friends. We booked in advance, told them about it, let them know they could come or not. We planned on bringing our computers to have a LAN party while we were there. My boyfriend and I gamed together once a few people wanted to go. We were really excited. Recently, I learned as we arrived at someone's house to watch a game together as a group that I am not invited on the trip any longer because one of his friend's girlfriends couldn't come due to work, and now it's going to be a guys trip. I feel pretty hurt. I got upset and asked them what right they had to disinvite me from a trip that I planned and to basically make it no women allowed. For some odd reason. We plan things all the time and I attend. We share the same interests a lot of the time, so I'm confused and bothered by the implication that I'd be distracting / in the way / make it less fun. They brushed it off, so they are going now, without me or anyone else with a vagina, I guess. My boyfriend feels torn. He's kind of a people pleaser and doesn't want to make waves. His friends say weird shit sometimes about women, and say they are joking, but this makes me feel like they actually meant those things and don't even think of me as a friend. Straw / back situation. Some other things have happened that were similar, but I brushed it off as a misunderstanding at the time. Instead of being their friend, I'm just their friend's girlfriend, which really hurts because I've really been there a lot for these guys and gone out of my way for them. Example, one of them projectile vomited in a bathroom at a friend's house everywhere and got embarrassed and didn't know how to clean it while drunk. So I cleaned it up for them. I've hosted at my house and always tried to make it fun. I don't understand. I told them that it was fucked up and I planned the trip, so they don't get to decide that. They basically acted like I was being emotional and just needed to get over it. I've refused to talk to some of them since. Everyone is acting like I don't want them to go and do things. Just the guys, and I'm being controlling. The narrative has been lost amongst our friends, and I'm being painted as a villain compared to other women who are going, who are cool with it. When actually, I don't give a shit. They go out all the time for guys' nights and guys' trips. I just want to enjoy the trip I planned, regardless of being a girl or not. I don't think telling them I'm coming anyway would even do anything. I can't imagine going now, with how they clearly feel. That would be really awkward probably. It has created a rift between my dude and his friends, and they are telling him that I'm being unreasonable and overreacting, and he is talking about not going and is really pissed at them, but doesn't want to ruin the friend group dynamic. I know I can just plan something else, but this sucks. Am I the arsehole? Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation at all. I mean, you plan this, you set up a good time for everyone, and then you're basically kicked out of it? I'd be cancelling that shit right away. It might sound petty, but sod that. And boyfriend has given huge red flags in this situation as well. The fact that he didn't turn around immediately and go, absolutely not. But Glad Ability says, since you planned it, cancel it. Let them put together a trip on their dime and time. It takes effort to plan something like this, and it's so rude to just hijack someone else's vacay idea. You're not the arsehole, but if your boyfriend puts up with these tools of a friend, then he might be. Can't always ride the fence. And these guys definitely sound like arseholes through and through. I love it when people call each other tools. Tina says option 1. Well, if you don't want me on the trip, that means you used me as a travel agent / event planner. I charge X amount per hour for those services, and I spent this many hours on it. Will you be paying me cash, Venmo, or Zelle? Option 2, you're absolutely welcome to go on any guy's trip you would like, whenever you want, to any destination you want to go. But this trip is a trip that I planned and that I'm going on. If you no longer wish to go on that trip that I planned because you're going on a different guy's trip or for any other reason, that's absolutely fine. I just need to know how many additional spots have opened up for other friends. Not the arsehole. These arseholes are trying to change the subject, make it seem like they're behaving perfectly reasonable for wanting their own trip, when the real issue is that they want to exclude you from your trip. Someone said option 3 and cancel everything, and then legitimate replies to that saying cancel everything, yes, but don't tell anyone it's been cancelled. When these arse-hats show up to no accommodation and get pissed, say, I was uninvited so I cancelled the trip I booked. Why are you so mad, bro? You're acting really emotionally. I know that ladies have their time of the month. Seems like men do too, because you're absolutely hysterical. Thank God I'm not on this trip with your emotions and hormones ruining a good time. Best case scenario, I have nowhere to stay. Worst case scenario, they book a room, paying walk-in prices. Fuck those arseholes. And one more comment from Pity Lover 1 who says, my boyfriend feels torn. He's kind of a people pleaser and doesn't want to make waves, and then says his friends are misogynistic arseholes and he's torn. I gotta love how they're trying to make you believe none of the other women who were going to have a problem with also being disinvited by their misogynistic arsehole boyfriends. The universe gives us divine filters. This is one of them. Your boyfriend isn't the one ruining the friend group dynamic. The misogynistic arseholes are. What he does with this tells you a lot about him and what you are willing to tolerate from a partner, not the arsehole. But if this is a really serious relationship, I'd think long and hard before committing to someone with such poor boundaries. So it was a month later that OP came in with an update and said, holy shit, I was not really expecting any replies. Been working a lot and just checked back on this. I'm totally overwhelmed by the support in this community. I really did expect to be the arsehole in this situation. I'm reading through everything and really trying not to cry. Lol. I will try to respond if I can. I realize the amount of people who actually see me as a friend has dropped drastically. Or it was always that way. I'm just now seeing it. I feel much sadder about that than a stupid trip. The trip is just the piss icing on the shit cake. I'm such a child. I am not going to dump my boyfriend. He deserves the time to try and talk to his friends and see if things can change. I've rescued myself from their friend group entirely at this point. He has said that if they continue to behave that way, that he will look for new friends, and I believe him. I've had some shitty friends myself, as I was formerly part of a pretty terrible online community, similar to Kiwi Farms. I just grew out of it when I realized, oh, they aren't kidding or trolling or whatever, they're just miserable arseholes. Some of them changed though and decided not to be shitheads. That's why we have a kind of frog in boiling water situation. It feels so common to me because of the places I grew up in and the online communities I was a part of. I regret ever being part of anything like that. I was just a lonely, depressed and angry younger person. Even women can be radicalized in spaces meant to other them. I just understand, I guess, and still miss those friends and wish they could let go of their hatefulness. I cancelled anything I planned for the trip. I got my deposits back, so no harm done there. He's still going with them to see if their friendship can be salvaged. We're planning a private trip for just the two of us afterwards. Thank you all so much for responding and taking the time and for the advice. I feel very lonely for real friends, but at least I know now where I stand. Bro deciding to still go on that trip without you. Yeah, commenter said this is quite possibly the worst update ever. He still went on the trip without you to salvage a friendship with people who clearly hate you. You're going to give him another chance. Opie says the thing is, it became a friends trip for just them. I didn't want him to be the only person not there, if those friendships were salvageable. I lost most of my good friends that I grew up with to drugs, the oil field, car accidents, suicide and homicide. Then I moved away from the rest. I didn't want to put him through something similar or give an ultimatum. He has since stopped talking to most of them because they were being a bunch of see you next Tuesdays apparently. He plays games online with a handful, but the rest have been sloughed off in the past few weeks. They became more and more vocal and argumentative, so he sees how things really were. I think if I had reacted too strongly after the fact, he might have been taken in by their bullshit. Texas sucks. Can't wait to move. Then, a month later, OP comes in again and says update 2. I thought they didn't care that I cancelled everything, but found out they were actually really pissed because of how close it was to the trip dates compared to when I originally booked. They had to pay a lot more, had to split multiple thousands between them, adding up to additional hundreds of dollars extra, each at the last minute. They all hate me now, but I don't care at all. Guys, if you read this and recognize that it's you, stop grabbing women in nightclubs and pretending you don't understand that it's sexual assault. Stop talking shit about the women who are nice enough to fuck you. Cottage cheese thighs. I think she's hotter since she started taking pills. You're scum. Stop judging our bodies where you're covered in dark, ingrown hairs, a receding hairline, and are insecure because you used to be short and then had steroid shots. It isn't our job to make you feel good about yourself while you trash us. Stop pretending to like people and then trash talking them to others. Guess what? People talk. I know it all. Everything you said has come out. Stop pushing drinks on people that don't want them. Stop reminiscing about former flings and sexual escapades in front of people's spouses and girlfriends. Stop inviting people's ex-girlfriends around to start drama. Stop worshipping men who hate women. Stop saying women are emotional when men can't control their anger as a whole. You want to talk about self-control? Try it out yourself. Stop thinking you are good people. My dude doesn't even like you all anymore because you proved it was never jokes. You almost convinced him that I was too sensitive and couldn't take a joke. I hope you enjoyed your ski trip. I hope it was worth his friendship. You lost the best person you could have had in your life just because you think being an asshole is attractive. I just wanted to be your friend. Thanks for manipulating, gaslighting, and abandoning me instead. And there was a mixture of comments below this one, some people calling out the boyfriend, some people saying glad that she cancelled the reservations, and some people calling out OP themselves. Basically saying that, OP was fine with the whole situation and how they treated and spoke about women basically until it was her turn. And others saying she dodged a bullet and the boyfriend sucks. But what is your take on this situation? How do you feel about it afterwards? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. Truly is absolutely amazing. And I hope I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.